Welcome to another episode of Wings of the Raven. I'm your host, J.R. Bloodsteel. Our story tonight was sent in by Will, whose friend witnessed something that we can only imagine in our worst nightmares. I'm now 58, and I had an older friend of about 80 in the small town I live in. He passed away a few years ago, and before he died, he told me about an event he went through in 1970. He was a Green Beret that saw much combat in the Vietnam War. He did 3 full tours there because he said he just loved the people and wanted to help them. His specialty was being a medic. When he came home, he decided to make the military his career. He put in for another tour, but by then, they weren't sending any new personnel over there, so he was stationed at Fort Bragg. One day, his unit was given orders to go to Northwest Tennessee. They were told to go fully prepared for combat. This was, of course, very confusing to the guys. 2 days later, they arrived at their destination. It was a game warden fire watch station in Tall Tower. They were taken to a cave system and were told there are people living in this massive cave system that ran from Tennessee to Virginia, and they were to go into the caves and get these people out and to use any means or force necessary. They were told a lot of campers and cavers have disappeared, and they knew the cave or feral people had been taking them. These feral people are suspected of killing and eating campers. That was pure crazy nonsense to my friend, and they were then told these people have been inbreeding and living in the caves since 1860 when they were trying to hide so they wouldn't have to be sent to the Civil War, and they since then only come out at night to hunt. They went cautiously into the caves, not really expecting to find anything but maybe a hobo that was scaring campers. About 30 minutes in, they came across a huge pile of clothing and camping gear. This woke the soldiers up because there was a very familiar smell of old death around that all these soldiers recognized. They went further into the caves and they found human bones and body parts. They then saw 3 or more of the feral people, and they attacked the soldiers with knives and spears. They had to kill about 6 of the feral people. My friend said they were very skinny, about 5 feet tall, wore no clothing, and smelled so horrible they had to put them in body bags so they could remove them. In the next month, the soldiers cleared out about 20 miles worth of caves, and they killed dozens of these creatures. My friend said they weren't human anymore. They had bred and morphed into some other creatures. There was always refrigerated trucks there to take the bodies away, and my friend was told to never ask where they took them and never talk about the whole thing to anyone. My friend never told anyone but his wife about this, and she confirmed the story to me before she passed away last year. I'm not sure why he chose to tell me. Maybe so it wouldn't be forgotten, or maybe he felt guilty for some reason. My friend was very, very honest. That's how I know these feral people really do or did exist. The way people disappear in state parks, I'm convinced there has to be many more of them. Do you have a true horror story you would like to share? Email me at WingsOfTheRaven.Podcast@gmail.com, and it might be featured on the podcast. Thanks for listening, and thank you to our men and women who have served and are serving. Stay safe.